Bitcoin wrecked all the bears out there with a 22% week. This just goes to prove that nobody knows what the hell is happening on the market, and even last week I was screaming that we might get lower to 14k, but it doesn't matter what everyone's thinking. The most important thing is to have plans, and that's what we're going to discuss in this market update. What I've bought, what I'm planning to do with my positions, and how I'm looking to position myself in the future. I don't think the bear market is over, but definitely this week has given all the crypto industry a breath of fresh air that everybody needed in the last 6.5 months. Let's jump into the charts. And if we start with Bitcoin on the daily, you see that the trend kept accelerating in the past few days, and we already have a full week of just green days, and we sliced through several levels of resistance around the 100-day moving average, then 18k, and then the 200-day moving average and 20k just sliced through it like butter. And the main reason for this is that everybody was bearish, including myself, and people were heavily shorting the market, and it turned into a short squeeze and they had to cover their positions, and that just gave additional fuel to this rally. And currently, as you can see, we're having a pulse at around 22k, which if we go to the weekly is the first major lower high that we had, and we have a potential here to have a higher high for a first time in quite a while. But this doesn't mean that we're gonna shift right into a bull market. No, we're just back in the higher range here that we were back at the end of 2022. And the best scenario, in my opinion, it would be if price just consolidates for a little bit right here, or just below this resistance level and prepares momentum for another breakout. Because as you can see right now on the RSI, on the daily chart, we are very overbought right here, and we need for this momentum to recharge in order for this entire rally to be a little bit more sustained. The other option that will also make me very happy is if we retrace and we hold together above 18k. I think this will be a great sign, and it will be the first higher low for quite a while, and it will be a confirmation that potentially we are back into this range and potentially we can start accumulating here also Bitcoin. So what are my plans here? If we see a nuke through this level and we just never stop, which I think is still a probable scenario, I wouldn't be entering any positions. I wouldn't be rushing into any altcoins, not even buying Bitcoin or Ethereum. I'm just going to be patiently waiting, because usually when we have such kind of violent moves, they also tend to have a continuation to the downside, which could be equally violent. And this is where I'll be patient and just to see where the higher low will stop. So I'm excluding this scenario from the chart just to make it a little bit clearer. If we have this thing and if we consolidate for a little bit in this area right here, then I'll be very excited to buy some altcoins, and I have a list of them already, which I'm going to share with you in just a minute. But let's just look at the other scenarios. If we confirm 18k here as support, I would be also excited to keep buying some Bitcoin and Ethereum and continue accumulating like I have been doing all through this area right here. And I also think if this plays out, we also gonna see some strength in outs, just like in the scenario here that I was talking about for a potential breakout. And if we just go back below this level, I don't think this will be a great sign. And definitely I think if we break again below 18k, it will be a higher probability scenario that we can get to 14k, and I would be patient here. So if we get into these levels, I wouldn't be rushing into buying and accumulating more. I'll be focusing more on Ethereum and Bitcoin, but I'll be patient to get back to these levels around 16k, 15k, and potentially lower. However, right now I'm positioned very well in my opinion, at least according to my risk preferences. I bought some Link, which I'm still holding from the lows, and I'm not planning to sell unless we retest this range high, which is around 65 or 67% here from my buys. Another thing that I'm considering to take profit is optimism. I'm not gonna close the entire position, but I'll be just stupid to not take advantage of this rally. On average, I will be up around 100% on the position if we get to this all-time high around $2. And we're just around 19% from there. So definitely if we have another day or two of green, I'll be taking some profit here. I also added a little bit to my GMX position. I'm planning to hold this for a little bit longer. I also added a little bit of Matic, which is testing this range high here. But from my last adds here, it's just around 30%. So I can be patient. I didn't add a big size here. So if you break out and the trend accelerates out of control, definitely I'll be taking some profit, but not right now. I can be patient. And another one that I added, which is kind of low cap, and I discussed this a little bit, that I really like the fundamentals of Gains Network, which is GNS. Let me just find a better chart for you. So I'm also planning to hold this, and again, I'm not in a rush to sell, but if it accelerates to the upside, I will take probably some profit. But I'll be really excited if I get a lower prices here around $1.50. It will be great in my opinion for the long-term hold that I'm planning to do with this token. A few setups that I'm also looking into to enter if we potentially have a continuation, and if all of these tokens that I'm going to talk about don't just go back to their ranges and we have the bear market back in play. So the first one I wanted to mention is Woo Network. Really nice accumulation. We still haven't broken out. We're above the moving averages right here. And if we see some kind of consolidation right here, I'll be eager to take this breakout because I like this project. I need to do a little bit more work on it. But definitely, even as a trade setup, if we get a bit of a retracement here, I will be very keen to getting into this action on a breakout. And this will be an occurring theme across pretty much most of the tokens that we're going to talk about. LTC is another setup that I think I mentioned already in chat. This one I didn't buy here just because at the parabola here, just look at this price action. Obviously, Litecoin has additional fuel in the tank because of the upcoming halving, and this usually always causes this kind of spike on Litecoin and also on Bitcoin and other coins that have halving. However, I will be more excited if we get something like this. So if you get a little bit of a pop and then a retrace and a confirmation of this zone as support, then I'll be keen to enter here, and I think it will give me a little bit better risk to reward. I don't like chasing the hype right now, and that's why I didn't buy this breakout right here. A few other tokens that I'm looking into and are on my list is Lux. This is also an NFT play. I think NFTs will come back in play at some point, maybe even this year, maybe it will be even sooner rather than later. And again, the same setup, we are currently breaking out. So if this sticks and if we hold above this level and we get a close on the daily, I might add some starter position, but I'll be more excited to add on a retest because we're still below the 200 daily moving average and we still have some resistance overhead, which I'm not disregarding. And as you can see here, we have a confluence zone. So I could add a starter position here, but I wouldn't be going all too heavy on Lux. The next one is Ape, another NFT play, and Ape has already been kind to me a few times, and as you can see the setup here, we have relatively good risk to reward, and I think the price started to accumulate here below this $5 resistance level, and a potential breakout also could play out very well. The next level up is somewhere around here, around 40%. So a quick run to this level, I think it will be great. Also, another one that I'm looking into is Quant. And as you can see, we had a pump here. And if I just delete these drawings, however, unlike most other tokens, it didn't completely fall apart and retraced 100%. So we're holding here, we have higher lows already, then the price is showing some strength around this area of $130. We're again retesting here, in this case the 100-day moving average and a potential setup for a breakout. I really like this one also for the long term, so I'm really watching this for a breakout. Another one is ENS, and you can see the number of green days here on ENS. Again at an inflection zone together with the moving averages and some resistance around $14. And another setup that I'm keeping closely on watch, and maybe something out of the box like Hashflow. I like this because it has no price history. This means there are not a bunch of backholders somewhere around here. They're looking to dump on the price action, and we're seeing some strength. We still haven't gotten a close around this area. If we jump to the 4-hour chart, you'll be able to see it a little bit better. So the risk to reward here, I think, is also quite favorable. And if we see some momentum, 15% risk for such a shitcoin to potentially go to a new all-time high in a bear run, in a little bit of a rally, I think a small size position here could be worth a while in just a few weeks. So I'm not completely disregarding this, but I'm also not gonna be going heavy size. Generally speaking, I'm happy with my size currently. I have a lot of cash on the sidelines for setups that I'm currently watching at, and of course for accumulation. I'm not getting overly excited because we're still in the depths of the bear market. However, also crypto is not completely going to die. So relax guys, take a deep breath and make sure you're focused on the markets in the coming weeks because they will be very crucial and there will be potential to make some gains. That's everything for this video, and if you have any other questions, you know how to find me.